What's up, people? How's it going? Can you hear me? Hey, Riker, how are you and M feeling today? I'm sick, so Riker is obviously 10 times more sick. So, we're doing past life readings today. And they're gonna be interesting because I would like to do 8 of them and like split them half and half. So at the beginning, we'll do 4, and at the end, like halfway through, I'll restock them and we'll do 4 more. But we're gonna play that by ear because I am sick and I have a sore throat. So if I lose my voice halfway through, then I'm going to not do the other 4. So we're at least doing 4. Would like to restock halfway through. So if you miss the 4 that are available right now, come back in like, let's say like an hour or 2, hour and a half, something like that. And there'll be a restock. Hopefully. If I lose my voice, there's not going to be a restock. But we're gonna play by ear. We're gonna figure it out. It's fine. And I got sick because we traveled to California and there were people behind us that were coughing into us and they didn't have masks on. They weren't covering their mouths. It was great. It was a good time. I'm very upset about it. Because this cold, whatever it is horrible because it's very much like just congestion. So it just hurts from my hips up. Breaker is tiptoeing over here.
Hello. I've come to say hi.
As you can tell from their voice, sick. More
Yeah, I got
congested.
some mics on the side. Yeah, today is awful. So, hello.
The open mouth coughers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Have fun. I love you.
I love you.
Go search for my cat. I posted a picture of myself on the couch.
Oh, that's hilarious. If you're in Discord, Riker posted a picture of themselves dying, basically. People cover your mouths when you have a cough. They also had like a child, so masks wouldn't have necessarily mattered, but they weren't like covering the child's mouth either, because the child was like 2-ish. They looked like they were 2 years old. I don't know. It sucked. It sucked so bad. I literally had this coat, and I was like this the entire plane ride. Still sick. But it's fine. Everything's fine, because I thought I was dying yesterday, and now we're less dying today. So that's why we're doing a live stream, because we were originally going to do a live stream on Saturday, and that's when Riker got sick, and then I got sick yesterday or the day before yesterday or something like that. So we just keep not being able to do live streams because we don't really have a voice for it. So it sucks, but we're doing past life readings today. I am going to restock them for you. So if you don't know how this works, hi, I'm a psychic medium. What I do is, for this, I'm going to talk to your past lives and give you information about things that happened in those past lives. And if you're also new here, reincarnation is a thing. If you don't know about past lives, these are lives that you lived in different times, that sort of thing. So with this, if you guys are interested in one of these readings, they are paid. And I have a pinned comment at the top of chat. If you don't know where chat is, you can also go to the description, and there is a link there. It is a Ko-Fi link or a Ko-Fi link, and you can go there, get all of your things situated before I like stock the readings. But the link will always be pinned in this top chat. And I will also share it again once I restock them. But we're going to start with 4 readings. And if I still have my voice in an hour after 4 readings, we will restock 4 more. So I'm going to save changes, and you guys will have access to past life readings. Ready, set, go. Save changes. So there are 4 available for you guys. And I have to go back to my orders. Okay, I think we're good. Also, if you guys miss out on readings today, I'm planning on doing some more readings this week. Again, if I don't completely lose my voice. But I'm also offering private readings, and Riker, who was down here a second ago, is also offering private readings. And I believe there is a thing for it. This readings Nightbot, which we'll give you in a second. We'll give you the link to that, and you just go to the readings tab in there, and that is private reading, so meaning it's not going to be in a live stream. So if you're uncomfortable with that, or if you miss the readings all the time when you're doing like stuff like this, we do offer private readings. Right now I offer email readings, so I do spirit guide readings, spirit guide and spiritual gift readings, charm readings, and tarot readings. Tarot readings are sold out, but I'm trying to restock them on a regular basis. So the restock will either be in 1 week or 2 weeks, depending. So if you follow us on Instagram, you can keep up with that. And then Riker is offering spirit guide drawings. So we do a lot of live streams where we draw your spirit guides, and those are like very, very sketchy, very, very like caricature almost way of drawing them. So with this private reading, it's going to be more polished. It's going to be more like, we're going to have more time to make it look really good for you. So Riker is offering spirit guide drawings on that link as well. So there is the link Nightbot has provided for you. Okay, and they're sold out. You guys are really good at that. All right, so we're going to start with Emily. After Emily is Berzuka, and then R, which I think this is, oh, it's just R. And then Allie. So that's going to be the order for the readings right now. If you missed out and would like to try to get a spot, come back in like an hour-ish, an hour and a half, and there might be some more if I don't lose my voice. And Riker is wondering if you guys would be interested in any other readings from them, other than just drawing spirit guides. So like tarot readings, spirit guide readings, past life readings, whatever you like. What do you think? Do you think Riker should offer? So, yeah. Sorry, I'm like reading things. I would like a marinara and parmesan reading. Listen, I could do that for you, but it would be very weird. We can do a reading like that. Honestly, and what Roger is talking about, the other night in Discord, he was doing like scrying, which if you don't know what scrying is, a lot of times you do it in mirrors. You like stare at a mirror and you see what like different shapes and whatever in mirrors, and it tells you different things in a reading. So Roger was doing that in Discord with Parmesan and like marinara, like red sauce. R. James says, Riker, you should do what you want, whatever you wish. You're good at all of it. But what kind of readings would you guys be interested in? What kind of readings piques your interest? I love the drawings. I'm gonna have to get another one to add to my wall. Okay, the first one is Emily. Emily, are you here? Oh, I see. I see you've responded. And people are like, I pre-logged in. I'm ready for this. Yes, okay. So we're doing past life readings. If you guys are interested in accessing the Discord channel, like I was talking about with Roger Scrying and Sauce, you just have to join members. And that is what the link is shared by Nightbot right there. So that can get you to YouTube members for those Meddling mediums. So bone throwing would be cool. You got bones to throw, Riker? Bone throwing would be cool too. I also want to learn how to do tea readings, but I am getting ahead of myself. Ooh, Riker, like deity readings either about who is already around them or one they want to connect with and tips for how. I can get some bones because I want to so bad. Me too. The only reason why I do charm readings, like charm casting readings versus bone readings, is sometimes TikTok has issues with that. So if they see bone readings, sometimes they flag you and they get rid of your channel, and that's an issue. So, but bone readings are really, really cool if you've ever seen them. Okay, but Emily, we're gonna do past life readings for you. The way that I do them is I usually use a pendulum, and I usually just have the pendulum sit in front of me, and it just gives me confirmation of the things that I'm seeing because it makes it easier because there's a lot going on. Okay, so first past life I see for Emily. I see there's this man, he has dark hair. And he looks to be right now in his like late 30s, and he's holding a child that looks like him as well. So I'm assuming this is his daughter. Okay, I feel like your wife passed away and you were left with the children. I feel like the one you're holding was the youngest one. She looks like she's one-ish, one or two, like in between that. And then there is a little boy. The little boy looks like he's 4. And the way I got to that is the way he talks is more intellectual. I feel like he talks at a 4-year-old level, but that could change. I feel like your wife died during childbirth. Single dad. Sorry, I'm asking them questions, but I feel like your wife died during childbirth of the second like the second child, the daughter. Um, I feel like there were some sort of like I don't know what the right word is, but she generally did not have a very smooth pregnancy with the daughter, with the girl. Um, I don't know what necessarily happened because I don't know a lot about like medical things because I'm not a doctor, but what I can feel is my back hurts really bad and I feel like I bled out. So I also feel like you guys existed in a time where they don't have the medical I don't know how to explain it. Like they don't have enough, like it's not advanced enough to be able to handle what was going on. So, um I like feel like she gave birth at her house. You kind of live in this like prairie sort of like land. It's like rolling hills and your house is like smaller and like looks like it's made out of wood. Maybe the baby was feet first and they needed a C-section. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily that. I think it's like they just keep making me feel like it's something to do with the placenta. Because I feel like she lived during like the birth, but like something happened afterwards with the placenta like not detaching right or something like that. I have no idea because I don't know about the like issues that you can have with like childbirth. Um, but that's what they make me feel like. It's something with her back hurt really, really bad after she gave birth. I feel like it has something to do with the placenta, and I feel like there's a lot of blood. So I know that that's like very graphic, but kind of need a medical degree to pinpoint. Maybe not all the placenta came away. Yeah, I don't know. So that's how your wife died, so you ended up with these two kids. So you had all of this pressure on you to like support them. Um, I'm asking them questions about things. So I'm asking them like what you did as a job. Cause I'm like, you look like you go out and do something somewhere else off of your like land. Like it's not something you do in that, like you're not a farmer or something like that. They make me feel like you had to leave to go to work, but you had two kids and you were a single dad and you needed to do this because you needed to provide for your family. They like make me feel like turn of the century, like the 20s ish is when this life existed. And I don't know who the woman is that's in your house, but you're not, it's not like your wife or something. I feel like it might be like your sister. She has like very, very curly hair and it's like dark brown. And she's the one taking care of your kids for a while. They like tell me it's similar to like Full House. If you ever watched that TV show, the mom died of that family and they had a whole bunch of different people move into the house to help them take care of his kids. So, yeah, that is that life. So, I don't know. The thing that's interesting to me is I don't know how it affects you now in this life. They make me, the things I want to ask though, do you have like fears of childbirth? Having kids scares me so bad I can't imagine. That's what I would expect because I feel like again, it happened in your house so you watched it happen. But I also feel like you have a lot of lives where that sort of thing also occurred to you. So there's a lot of trauma about that going on. But they make me feel like kids are very important to you. You like view kids as like little adults, if that makes sense. Like you treat them that way. I don't know if that makes sense for you, let me know, but that's kind of the vibe. So that's that life. Let me give you another one. I'm literally terrified of being pregnant one day, lol. Same. That was me for a really, really long time, and then I met the right person, and then it got easier. But I have like so much trauma with that because my soul likes to be female, and I live a lot of traumatic lives, and that's one of the things that causes the trauma. So next life, I feel like you were some sort of fae being. I feel like you were a fairy. You have butterfly wings. I feel like you took care of like flowers. So if you don't know fae, fae are usually they're usually beings, spirits that take care of nature in some way, shape, or form. So they help some sort of aspect of nature. And the fairy that was you in your past life dealt with flowers. I feel like you specifically dealt with like pollination, which also like is weird because I don't know if your soul deals with a lot of like rebirth or fertility, that sort of thing. Because I feel like that might be something that your soul is surrounding. Which how it would look in your life now would be a lot of like rebirth aspects. So a lot of times when you meet people, you kind of like make them look at life a different way. You give them a different perspective and they start questioning everything and it really just like starts a new like thing for them. They make me feel like that's what your soul deals with. Does that make sense? We want to do a drawing stream doing past lives, so maybe we do that Thursday. Yes, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, if you guys are interested in that, let us know. We're still trying to decide what we want to do Thursday, but I'm thinking I want to do a drawing stream. So, yeah, they make me feel like your soul deals with rebirth. So your soul has seen a lot of like pregnancies, because I also feel like you have another past life as a midwife. The midwife has dark hair. They make me feel like you were a midwife until you had your own child, and you were very, very picky about what happened, like your birth planned. But you have dark hair. It's like pulled in a bun. This looks like maybe the 40s. I'm basing that on how she's dressed. She is in this like gray sort of looks like a nurse, but not really. But it's like gray heathered, and then there's like an apron that's white that only goes like down, like it doesn't go over her shoulders. It's just like an apron over her dress. But I feel like she uses like a lot of holistic sort of medicine to help in her like midwife practice. So it's kind of like you took that Fae life and it helped you to understand the like medicinal properties of like flowers, herbs, that sort of thing, in order to have this holistic view on childbirth. But they make me feel like you view the world in a very, very different way than most people around you. And it's just, you see so much more value in things that are like everyday things for people. I don't know if that makes sense. And this past life of a midwife is telling me that. She's like, it's like you see a value in things that people throw away. Oh, sorry. It also triggered, I have one more for you. The last life I have for you, you have some sort of native life, because immediately when I said you value things that people throw out, they showed me this life. I feel like you were a man in this life, and I feel like you were a native. I feel like you were a hunter. And the reason why it triggered this life is someone whispered in my ear, like, natives that use every part of their kill in their everyday lives. So they aren't just like killing to eat the meat and then they throw the rest out. They use the meat, the organs, everything, because they value every part of life. I'm indigenous. Yay, another native life. Yeah, I don't know. Those are the lives I have for you. Do you have questions for me before I move on to the next one? That's so kind. While Emily answers, Berzuka, you're next. Am I a death soul or a life soul? You are one of the gray areas. I feel like your soul deals with life, but you as a soul have to understand death in order for you to be associated to life. I don't know if that makes sense, because your soul deals with rebirth. So you are more so on the like life side of things, but things need to come to an end in order to rebirth them. So you have a understanding of death type things in order to be rebirth, but you are more so on the like life side of things. Does that make sense? But Berzuka, past life reading. Let me know if that makes sense if you have any other questions. I had a hard time figuring it out. I was like, black and white. Yeah, I would assume that for you too. You probably also feel like you get along with everybody, but you also feel somewhat misunderstood by everyone. Like you don't fit in one side or the other, so everyone's kind of like, you're kind of friends with everyone, but you're also just like misunderstood because most people like fit on one side or the other. Does that make sense? So you can hang with death souls and you can hang with life souls, but there's this like feeling of being in that gray area of, well, no one can understand my life soul aspects and no one can understand all of my death soul aspects and have doing else at the same time. It's kind of like you come from two different worlds. I don't know if that makes sense. So, Berzuka. That makes a lot of sense, yes. Do you like animals? I feel like you have a lot of animal past lives. I feel like I have to talk about the animal past lives before I give you one that's not an animal past life. I feel like you have a past life as a spider. I do love animals, yeah, and that's probably not what you expected. But I feel like you have a past life as a spider. You're a female spider. You're some sort of orb spider. Like, when I say orb spider, like, you have the big butt and the tiny legs. I was gonna make a joke earlier saying I hope I was a spider. Of course. I like to joke and say that I want to die and come back as a spider because I want to know what it's like to have 8 legs and have the legs be teeny, teeny, tiny. And also have, like, web come out of my butt, but that's beside the point. Sorry, I'm asking questions. I don't know what kind of spider you were, but you're very large for being an orb spider. So, like, you're like this big. So, an example of an orb spider is a black widow. You were not a black widow. You were something bigger. But black widows have the, like, thin legs and then the big butt. And I feel like you were female, so that means you were larger than the males. I feel like you weren't venomous to human, at least. Or at least not venomous enough. I feel like you had babies at some point. I don't know. This is like random stuff about like being a spider. I feel like you bit someone and that was how you died. But I'm like asking them how. I feel like you got squished. I feel like you bit someone and then got squished. And it's very weird for me to talk about being a spider. Rip. Yeah. Let me give you some lives that aren't like that. I feel like you have a life where you're a German woman. You have a long curly hair. And there's sheep. You have a lot of sheep. I feel like you lived on some sort of farm. At least I think this is Germany. It might be Scotland. I get them, like, mixed up. Let's see. Germany. Scotland. Does Germany have, like, hills? I don't know what Germany looks like. Because you're definitely not in, like, a city. You're out in the country. Yeah, no, I guess that makes sense. The things that I'm looking at, there's, like, some mountains and hill-like things. Great. I feel like it's Germany. I feel like you're in Germany. Because I'm like, are you Germany or are you, like, that one little, like, I don't know if she's Scottish. The one that's, like, in Brave. Germany. Or Switzerland. I think it's Germany. Roger says East Germany. I feel like you are not very much into people so much, but you were more so into the animals, which is why the first thing I told you is that you have sheep and you lived on a farm. I feel like you're very understanding of animals, very almost like empathetic towards them, in the sense of you are able to just understand them on a different level. Hold on, I'm losing my voice. I also have orange juice. I was sick. Yeah, I don't know. I just see you doing different things on the farm with your animals. Like I feel like you had like such a knowledge of the animals that a lot of times the vets would like wouldn't be able to do something, but you would go in and do it. Like I see you birthing animals. And sheep, horses, cattle, everything. You just have this like such a strong connection with animals. I feel like your life was pretty hard until you were like on this farm. I feel like your father was abusive. He like made me feel like he like make you feel like worthless because you're a woman and you shouldn't be doing things. And I feel like he died in a very like in an accidental way, but in a like surprising way. Like no one knew it was going to happen. It was just like bad timing. I feel like he like fell and hit his head during some sort of argument. Like there's people screaming, and then he fell backwards and like hit a different like a certain spot in his head, and that was it. And then I feel like you took over the farm because I feel like your mom died before that. I feel like that's why your dad got so angry. Because he was like alone and he was dealing with it with alcohol. So, he seems to be like very angry, like a very angry drunk, and he took it out on you a lot. Until he finally like died, which makes sense now that I like lay it all out there, because if he's drunk he wouldn't have the best like balance stability, and that's how he like fell and that happened. And he doesn't have a lot of the like cognitive like functioning because he's drunk. I don't know. I wonder if that's why I have an aversion to alcohol. That is a possibility, because I don't know, this man is like very, very angry, and I feel like that could also be potential in a lot of your other lives. But this man self-medicated with alcohol because his wife died, and I feel like he blamed you for it for so long that he just took everything out on you until he finally passed and you got the farm. And no one thought that you could take on that big of a task. So it was kind of like, honestly, it was kind of like a challenge for you. It was like a good change for you, because you'd rather deal with the animals than deal with the people, because people had wronged you so much in your life. Because I feel like your mom died when you were young, like 2, 3 years old, and that's when your dad took over and took care of you, and he did it spitefully, and a lot of times you took care of yourself anyways. So when he died, you were like, I would say 16, and that's when you took on the farm. Started to girl boss, gaslight, gatekeeper that farm. And then someone's telling me, why is this making so much sense to me? And I'm German and had the beliefs that something happened and to something related to my past life. I'm addicted to alcohol and vegan. Interesting. Sorry, I'm trying not to lose my voice. It's gonna be a struggle, but we're fine. It's fine. Okay, let me give you another one. Okay, last life that I have for you. I don't know. Hold on. This one's very, like, different. Okay. So they show me this man that lives in, like, the mountains. I don't know if this is the exact place, but, like, somewhere in Alberta, like, in Canada, where it's cold, there's a lot of, like, coniferous trees and mountains. I feel like you lived in the mountains by yourself. I feel like you built this little cabin in the woods. I feel like you're a very lonely person. Ooh, okay. They make me feel like you lived in a city. You lived in a more modern day time because there are cities that look very similar to what we have today. But when you were in the city, you felt very much like dissociated and depersonalized because you like had to fit this certain standard and it did not work for you at all. So you moved into this cabin that I feel like you built. Sorry, they're telling me more things. I feel like there might have been like a small shed up there or something and you stayed in there a lot of the times, or like not necessarily a shed because they make me feel like there's some sort of family house that was like nearby this place that you were moving to. So you stayed there for a few weeks at a time to build this like log cabin in the woods. In this log cabin you stayed in. Because I see you like cutting down big trees out in the forest to use for your little cabin in the woods. But it's very much like far away from people. It's very like cozy, cute in the wilderness. Very homey. And I see you like once it's done sitting in this like log cabin, so you see like the logs building the walls and there's a fireplace. And it's like you can hear all of the wildlife outside. Like super loud because you're so far away from civilization and you like it that way. But again, people were a bit too much for you in this life. I feel like a lot of your lives you don't get like this understanding. You feel like a misfit in a lot of your lives. So a lot of times you deal with that by just being by yourself. I feel like animals a lot of times are like something that's super important to you because they are accepting of you and you feel very at home with them, or like you can be vulnerable and like be your truest self with animals versus the judgment of people. Because I feel like one of the reasons why you moved out to the mountains is to be in wilderness because it like fills your soul up. I feel like in this life, once that happened, I feel like you found a wife. I feel like it was later in your life. I feel like you were maybe like 35-ish. She's blonde and very, 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 very tiny because you were this like thick ass dude. And when I say thick ass, like you were built. Because again, I literally feel like you built this house by yourself. And you like chopped down trees, like lumberjack chopped down trees and built a cabin. So you were like jacked. And you married this teeny tiny woman. Like she's very tiny, very petite, like 4'11" type, blonde. She was very quiet and very, very, very sweet. Like the type of person that wouldn't talk to anyone unless they like were very close to her. So she talked to you a lot. And you two are very happy in the mountains, being away, alone and away from people. But I feel like I'm asking how you met her, because you moved there first, and then you found this wife, because you were expecting to, like, live there by yourself the whole time, and you would be fine with that. But I feel like you met her after you built that place. They're telling me about the story of, Beauty and the Beast, but not in the, like, kidnappy sort of way. I feel like you sort of, like, met randomly, and it was sort of like that vibe. Like, the difference in personality. You had a lot of interest, but you, as, the man, had a lot of hardness, and she had a lot of sweetness, and she brought that out in you. It was the handsome bear heart. She must have been a window. Yeah, I feel like you met in, like, some sort of, like, somewhere where you got food. Like a market. Because I feel like you would go into the town and get food. Honestly, I feel like you got food, like, once a month. And, I feel like she worked there. Yeah, I feel like she worked there, but it was very, like, Belle and the Beast sort of relationship, minus the weird story of I kidnapped her and she stayed in my house because of some weird flower. I don't remember how that movie goes, but that sort of thing. Do you have questions for me? But yes, the charm of a large man who probably fishes with his fist. 100%. 100%. You know what I'm talking about. But I kind of feel like your soul, like, I feel like you're on the side of Death Soul. I feel like Riker told you what your soul type is. Is that true? Have we told you what your soul type is? And I'm just contradicting myself? Because what they tell me is you were put with a lot of people that were the opposite. Because it was almost like your place to sort of rebalance them. I don't think I was ever told. I feel like you're more so on the death side, but you incarnate with life souls. Because your soul deals with something that, like, teaches them. And it sucks for you. So a lot of times you, like, go do something else. I feel like your soul deals with a lot of, like, animalistic things. So, okay, it kind of makes sense then, because they're like, they deal with animals. The animals need an advocate. You are the one that is the advocate for that. I also wonder if my care for animals keeps me from trying the more fantasy style lives. Yeah, I don't. Your soul sees that as fantasy. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I would be able to see your soul in this, like, big castle that's, like, very sterile and very just, I don't know, stereotypically accurate. Because that would just absolutely kill your soul. You may stay there, but you wouldn't want to be there. It's kind of like, I don't know, Cinderella talking to the birds. So, you have questions for me. I'm gonna move on to the next one, which is R. It's really funny though, a death soul who can't stop living life soul lives. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm not sure. I feel like your soul a lot of times deals with like deforestation. I know that sounds really weird in particular. I feel like it deals with like people's impact on nature, which is why your soul like incarnates with other life souls when you are like the representation of death. So a lot of times in your lives now, you sort of reflect what people are doing back at them. So it's uncomfortable for them because they look at you and you just ooze what they're doing. So like one of your masks may be like whatever they're doing. It's like you read them and you're like, I know exactly how you want me to respond to this, so I'm just gonna do that. And a lot of times you respond with, oh, they're angry, I'm gonna be angry. I'm gonna reflect their personality back at them. Does that make sense? And this is still for Bazooka. That's so true. Yeah, they make me feel like your soul deals with like deforestation, because I like keep second guessing myself because I'm like, your soul deals with animals, so that would be a life soul, but you incarnate with life souls to show them how they're impacting life negatively. So that's kind of why it's weird. But R. James, what's up? You are next. The last one I have, which I'll probably restock because it's fine. I haven't lost my voice yet. My throat just hurts, which it hurt since the beginning of this. The last one will be Allie, but we're gonna do R. James. I love this. Thank you. No problem. Would it be my own imagination that I feel a bit of a tie towards Egypt with regards to a past life? I don't think it's your imagination. I feel like you do have ties to Egypt. The only thing I can see though for you is I feel like you have a deity around you that is an Egyptian deity. And I feel like you worked with this deity in your past life. Anyways, James. Okay. Hold on. Let me not lose my voice. Have I given you a past life reading before? I feel like I've given you several. Because I know about some of your past lives. Like, I feel like you have a past life as a banshee. I feel like you have a past life as, you told me, some sort of like broker or something. Someone that deals with like getting lucky things. But I'll give you some new ones. Okay. I don't know what the correct term for this is, so I'm just not gonna use the term that I think it is. I feel like you were someone that was in a very cold place. So you have a big coat with big fur around your face, and you have darker skin and dark hair. Was a Oh, I'm having cough drops delivered to me. Thanks. Just slowly losing my voice. It's fine. No, I'm okay. Yeah. Thanks. I'm gonna eat one of these cough drops so my throat hurts less. Hold on. Cough drops are like life force with a sore throat. Ricola. I'm autistic, so cough drops kind of suck. Sorry, I'm reading like comments and I'm like, what is going on? We're talking about a pharaoh mask? I made an elaborate pharaoh mask. That sounds fantastic. Yeah, I don't know, you lived like in the Arctic Circle or something like that. Yeah. They show me like Avatar Last Airbender, like the living in the South Pole or the North Pole, where the waterbending tribes are. I feel like you lived in a like you lived like in the Arctic Circle where it's really, really, really cold because you have a huge like coat on, big fluffy like fur around your face. Orange juice is not good when you're sick. It helps break up the like shit in your throat though. I don't know. I love the cold. I hate it here. Weird. So do I. Most people do not like the cold. They like get sick of like snow in winter. But I don't know. I view snow as like people getting together because for like Christmas and stuff like that, people from all over come, but they won't come for like Easter or like Halloween or shit like that. But they come for Christmas. So when I was little, I was like, everybody's gonna come to my house and we're gonna go sledding in the snow. Anyways, so you have a life in the Arctic Circle. You are female. And you have a baby. Like baby. It's in like some sort of bassinet. Like one of the cold ones. And I feel like they're on a sleigh or something. I feel like you were traveling somewhere else because there was like some sort of like bad thing that was about to happen, like some sort of naturalistic disaster that you guys wouldn't be able to live. I don't know if you lived in like igloos or something like that. I don't know that you lived in a like house because they make me feel like you had to like migrate because like some bad storm was going to happen, and because you had a baby, you needed to move and live like move your stuff and your family somewhere else so that you can make sure that everyone's okay because it was going to get really, really cold. And the baby probably wouldn't have survived if you stayed in the same place. Plot twist, I caused the natural disaster. You don't cause them, R. James. You just... No, okay, I don't know. I feel like you always know when natural disasters are going to happen. But we've already talked about that, and that hurts my head. But you had this little baby. I feel like she was a girl, because they tell me that she was like Yue from Avatar The Last Airbender. I feel like she had a hard time when she was first born. Like, you had a hard time getting her to breathe. I do feel like the squirrel in Ice Age. Well, I asked multiple times if it was Ice Age, and they told me no. So, at least there's that. Like, you didn't live, like, I think it's, like, prehistoric or something. I don't know. You lived in, like, some sort of tribe in, like, potentially, like, an igloo or some sort of, like, shelter that wasn't, like, a building or anything like that. So you had to move away from the storm that was coming in to make sure everyone was okay. But you knew that you had to move because your baby had like some immune problems, and I don't think you knew necessarily that word or how to deal with that necessarily, but you just knew that she was very fragile because of how she was born and how she like you struggled to get her to breathe. Sacrificed herself for the moon. That's the character that I'm talking about, but what they told me specifically is that she was born quiet. Because she was having a hard time breathing, which the UA did the same thing. The reason why UA was breathing was because they put the moon spirit inside of her, but that's not necessarily what happened here. What happened in your past life is that your baby was born and couldn't breathe. I don't know, there's some sort of like fluid in her lungs, so it was hard for her to like figure that out. They want me to say I feel like... Okay, I don't know, again, how baby things work, especially in utero, but I feel this, like... It's hard to breathe. They make me feel like there's some sort of fluid in my lungs, but at the same time, my lungs are not, like, fully developed, so it's even harder to, like, figure out how to deal with the fluid in my lungs. And that's how that baby is. Cystic fibrosis. I don't know. I don't know what that entails, but I feel like it's not that. It feels... Because I feel like that's like a actual disease that you have forever. And then it eventually, like, causes you to pass. I feel like this baby had, like, pneumonia or something, but I don't know if you can be born with pneumonia. So, I don't know. That's where I'm like, I don't know. They're, like, telling me that I have a pneumonia, but I don't have, like, my lungs aren't full capacity, like, they aren't opening all the way, so it makes me feel like my lungs are not fully developed, but I have fluid in my lungs because I have pneumonia. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So whatever that means to you, as a doctor, don't know how to decipher how that is in a medical terms. But it just feels very hard for her to breathe. So when she was initially born, it was hard for her to figure out how to breathe, being as she never had a first breath before without it being a struggle. So that's kind of the vibe they gave me, because after a while you got her to be able to breathe. She was good to go. I feel like in the point in time which I'm seeing her now, she looks like she's 6 months and she's like fine. She doesn't have those like issues. But she has a lot of like other things, like she's very sensitive immune system. So you wanted to make sure that she wasn't in the cold when the storm hit. So that is that life. Can give you some other ones. Okay, so we're going from Arctic Circle to a pirate. Because I'm trying to ask for ones that I don't know about. If you feel pulled towards certain times, could that be a past life thing? Or just like a normal interest? A lot of times it's past life stuff. So like, you will see things from your past lives in your everyday life. So if you have a lot of past lives, especially a lot of like human past lives, you may just be inherently good at doing things. So like, you pick up stuff really stupidly quick. You probably have a lot of past lives. But also what comes with a lot of past lives is a lot of like trauma, in the sense of like, you're worried when something like very small happens. Your brain says everyone's gonna die. No, everything's bad. I can't handle this. And no one understands why you feel like that. Past life stuff. So if you're pulled towards a certain thing, like I'm really pulled towards Hindu religion. So I feel like I have a lot of past lives where I lived over on that side of the world and I worshipped a lot of the deities from that. So, yes. Dang it, I hate the water, super scared of it irrationally. Um, I'm sorry, you gave me so much information. You're just validating things I haven't said yet. So, you're a pirate, but you aren't the greatest. I feel like your boat, your like crew, you were like, I think a thief would be the best way to describe it. You just like went out of your way to attack other ships to steal things and then sell that for more money. You basically like looted people, places, other ships, all of that sort of thing. So you and your crew were doing that. And again, you Banshee BS, you were very good at figuring out which ships to go and get and how to go about doing it. You very much have like the mastermind aspect of that. Our James was Jack Sparrow. A pirate, but not good at it, but the greatest pirate to ever live. Definitely a pirate. Yeah, I don't know. You like went onto other ships and stole the loot that was like underneath the like in the cabin. So, like under deck. And the main thing they tell me about that is you were very much the mastermind of figuring out how to do it and do it well. So they make me feel like how you think about scenarios, you're very good at being like, okay, so we have this ship. I've already heard like 20 different stories from like all of these people that I've already talked to. So I know exactly who's on the boat. I know exactly every single one of their weaknesses. And I know how big the boat is. I know where they keep all the loot. And I figured all of that out before even going into it. So I'm gonna do this, go into it, and they're not even gonna see what's coming because I'm so planned and well thought out on what we're gonna do that they won't have any chance. And you did that for a long time until you got caught by someone that you could not, I don't know if you know who your twin flame is, but whoever your twin flame, you tried to ambush their boat, and that did not work out for you because your twin flame could see the moves you're going to make 5 steps ahead of you. So they like reversed it on you, captured you, and they make me feel like they like tied you up and like made you walk the plank. I don't know necessarily if you walked the plank necessarily, but I feel like they tied you to something and then threw you overboard and you sunk. So I don't know mine yet, I don't think. Yeah, whoever your twin flame was an ally of. And if you guys don't, if you don't know about twin flame stuff, twin flames are like your equal opposite. So it's kind of like a coin. You are living on 2 sides of a coin. So one of you is looking on the tail end of a coin and the other one's looking at the head side of the coin. So you go through life doing very, very, very similar things, but you do it in an opposite way every single time. So your twin flame might be a morning person, you're an evening person. You might really like dogs and your twin flame does too, but they like big droopy dogs and you like tiny like high energy dogs. It's very much like opposing opposites. So anytime you try to do something, your twin flame balances it out. So our James was getting a little too big for their britches as a pirate, and twin flame sort of balanced our James and threw them overboard. So do you have questions? I could probably give you another one, but holy shit. Story of my life. Last life I have for you, you look like a little Asian girl. You look like you're 4 or 5. Maybe more like 4. I don't think you lived much long after that. You were in a war zone. And, people came to your door and took your parents away or killed them. I know they're dead. It's hard to talk to this little girl because a lot of it's dissociated. I see her on the ground in this little shed, and she's like almost in the fetal position with her knees up to her chest, and she's just like in a dissociative, like, gone, and there's screaming going around her, gunshots and like explosions. And I feel like in front of her is someone that is like was shot. The only other thing I can see about that is there's some man that's like reaching out their hand, but a lot of it's blurry because you're so dissociated from it. He's speaking some other language, and he's like telling you to come with him. But like you're not listening, you just are like, they like pulled you up by the arm and you're just walking with them because you're so dissociated. I'm not sure what happens after that though. So, do you have questions? World War II? My pendulum says it is World War II. That's a bit sad to have it been one of the big wars. Yeah, I feel like it's World War II. Yeah, there's like the whole city is being taken out. There's nothing you could do. There's nothing you like, nowhere you can go. You're just there. So you've just like completely and totally dissociated as a like 4 or 5-year-old. But yeah, let me know if you have questions. Last one before I restock is Allie. Allie, are you still here? Let me know. While I wait for R. James to ask any questions. We also know that R. James is a death soul. Because they have a soul that, or like a past life that deals with banshees. Which, if you don't know what a banshee is, usually a banshee is supposed to scream when death is about to occur. So, I feel like their soul deals with like big disastrous change. Jada says I'm seeing a man yelling at her as an American and she might be Japanese, but I don't know if that's right. I don't know a whole lot about history. I don't know. I feel like they speak the same language. They just don't speak the same language I do. which is why I'm like, they're speaking in like not an English language. And I don't know if the little girl understood because the little girl is like not there. So, yeah. Let me know if you have questions, but we're moving on to Allie. Allie, are you in chat? Oh no, I see you. Never mind. Okay, past life. Sorry, they're telling me a lot of things at once. The first thing they showed me is Peter Pan. Hmm. Okay. So, this is gonna be an interesting one. Am I Peter Pan? No, they're just showing me Peter Pan to give me information because they're telling me like, I feel like you had some sort of mental illness that caused you to feel like young forever because they're taking Peter Pan and they're like, Peter Pan wants to be young forever, like a young boy forever in Neverland. I feel like you were a man. I feel like, okay, I feel like you have DID, which is a dissociative identity disorder. It was originally known as like multiple personality disorder, but that has changed to DID. But I feel like your body, like the host body, was male. So I feel like you have a lot of lives, or sorry, let me explain that differently. You have a life with DID. I feel like you have a lot of alters, which are like the alternate personalities that are associated to childhood or youth, because I feel like you missed out on that when you were alive. Because I feel like your soul has this very like cutesy, happy, happy-go-lucky like life, like viewpoint or perspective of life. But a lot of your past lives, that is very much taken away from you. So how DID works is you develop it. It is a serious dissociative disorder, and it happens when you experience repetitive trauma before the age of about 8 years old. And I feel like that happened a lot to you by your father. Can you see her other alters? Yes. And I should explain, a lot of people ask me a lot of things about DID. There was a lot of people in my community for a while that had DID and would ask me questions about it as well. Because a lot of people think DID is having different, like a whole bunch of souls in one body, but it is very much not like that at all. It is very much based upon what I just explained to you. It's the mind's way of dealing with that amount of trauma by disassociating to the level it needs to not even recognize the person they were when they were being abused. So it is very much a coping mechanism for trauma, like Allie is saying. Okay, they say, wow, I know about DID that happened in one of my life or many. Sorry, I mean, it's happening in this life. I meant to say you have a lot of alters that are like young. And I feel like it's because you missed out on being a child. So your mind created those childlike alters so that you could relive your childhood without the intense trauma. I feel like for most of your life you were in a mental facility. And I should also preface this, I feel like I've had lives with DID as well. And a lot of people, like I said in my community, ask about DID a lot. So as a medium, a lot of times I can see different alters. So I feel like your body, the host, was male. But I feel like one of your alters is a little girl with dark hair. She kind of looks like Boo. She has short, straight, dark hair. And she has like a little pink elephant. Don't know why it specifically looks like an elephant. But she is one of the alters that does not age. So she looks like she's 3-ish, and she will remain 3 as long as the body ages. Sorry, I'm like trying to figure out how to talk about this in a non-triggering way. So I'm gonna be like, trigger warning. If you would like to not hear about this, mute me and then in a couple minutes come back. So I feel like you obviously had a lot of trauma in this life. I feel like it was primarily from your father. I don't feel like you had other siblings, but your father was remarkably abusive to everyone and everything that he could be. So he was abusive to your mother. You watched it, he did not care who saw it. He was abusive to you in any way that you could imagine, and in the most horrific way possible, from the earliest you could remember. And that's the best way I want to describe that, because it is horrible, 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 horrible. Because they're like, the reason why you have a lot of child alters in this life is because you felt like you like your brain had a hard time dealing with the fact that you don't remember any of your childhood. And when I say childhood, like very, very young. So your brain is very much like, I can't remember my childhood because it was so bad, but I don't understand how I am here at the age 18, 19, 20 when I don't remember anything that happened up until then. So your mind created alters to deal with that. And that's why they created child alters. Does that make sense? Yeah, I must have created other children that were happy. Yeah. Your child alters had like perfect lives for the most part. Because again, you had a lot of them, because I feel like sometimes when you were that child alter and then you got abused, that then alter was one of the trauma holding alters. So then you created one that didn't, and so on and so forth. Because I feel like you had a couple, but I feel like the one that was the most prominent was this little girl that looks like Boo from Monsters Inc. So that is that life. I feel like you lived most of your life in a mental facility, and they put you on certain medications that just numbed everything. So much so that they thought that it was working in like making you not switch as much, but they just couldn't notice it as much because you were just so like mundane, if that makes sense. So and I feel like they did a lot of things to you, not just medication. I feel like they also did things to your brain. What time in history? Hold on. I need to look something up. Okay. So what they told me is when asylums started becoming a thing was in the 19th century, but they make me feel like, hold on. Because they make me feel like it was sort of in the middle. And I feel like asylums stopped at like the 50s. So I feel like you were more so on the tail end of that because I don't think they did as much experimentation on you. I feel like it was more so like maybe the 30s, 40s, that sort of era. Because they did do stuff to you, but they didn't see it so much as experimental. They were just doing the things that they thought were helpful. Because I feel like they did surgery on your brain. Yeah, I thought of lobotomy. Yeah, I feel like there is they did stuff to your brain. I don't think it's just lobotomy. There's something else as well because I feel like they did it a couple times. They opened your skull up. And then they gave you some sort of drugs to just numb everything, but it was like one of the standard procedures at that point. And then they kind of just like left you alone because you were just like numb enough. So, do you know what age? Do you know what at age I was in the asylum? That one's a harder question because of the alters. Okay, this makes more sense to me. So you were on the tail end of asylums. So 40s, I feel like at some point the asylum that you were in shut down. And you look to be 30. I think that's your body that I'm looking at. Your body looks like the body host looks like they're 30. So I feel like you got out at 30. And you spent at least 10 years into an asylum. I'm curious if it was abuse before and during. Before the asylum, I feel like you weren't brought into the asylum until you already had it. Cause they want me to say you have negligent parents in this life, but I would say you just had abusive ones that just didn't pay attention or care. But I also wouldn't put the blame on your mother because your mother was being just as badly abused. So it was like when they want me to say it happened later in your life, so like 15-ish, maybe. Because they're like, it happened later in your life because you were so quiet when you were younger that no one really noticed for a long time. And then when you started talking more and more, they started realizing what was happening. So, yeah. So that is one of your lives. Let me give you another one, and hopefully it's not as traumatic. Okay, there is I think it's like a medieval life. It looks like everything it looks medieval. Because I see a castle, but I don't think you live in the castle. Um, you were like upper class. You were upper class medieval times. You weren't living in the castle, but you weren't peasant. Dang. I wish I lived in the castle. Yeah, because at first I was like, oh, are you like a princess or something? And they were like, no, there's just a castle off in the distance. But I feel like you lived a very luxurious life. Um, because you were very much upper class. So I feel like you went to the castle because I see you in the castle, but I don't think you live there. Um, but I feel like you were invited a lot of times to the castle because you were upper class. Yeah, either a noble or a merchant, that sort of life. You were also a woman. Sorry, I'm like asking questions. Um, you were a woman. You had a husband that like got you into these things because obviously like you were kind of like his property type thing because that's how women were or whatever. Um, I feel like you had two children. I also feel like you had sort of two sides to you. So you knew you had to be this like upstanding citizen. You had to participate because you had to like fit in with the like look. Um, but I feel like you did it very much so that people would be happy. You were very much a people pleaser. Um, but there's like this stern face that you give to people that's like you look down your nose at them and you're like, don't talk to me, don't do anything towards me. But on the other side, you have this like gushy, like happy-go-lucky personality. And I feel like you had to be like that because otherwise people would take advantage of you. That's me now. Yeah, because I see her in the castle and I'm like, oh, you're stern and scary. And then I see her talk to her children and I was like, oh, never mind. So, do you have questions for me? Can you tell me one more? Yes. Yeah, I've been giving 3 to people. We just got so into your last one, or your DID one, that I forgot I didn't give you a 3rd one. The DID one was very interesting. Okay, I asked for a weird one because I'm like, give me one that's not human. You were some sort of rock monster. Sorry, I'm asking questions about that. Um, Onyx? Okay. It looks great. I feel like you were some sort of space rock, and I feel like whatever made up you was like building blocks to make up planets. That's so cool. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm checking something on my phone. Um, but you're some sort of rock monster, which is interesting. I've never seen something like this before. Oh, did you kill the dinosaurs? No. I don't know, I feel like your soul, like, deals with, like, I don't know, like, space material that, like, came out of the Big Bang sort of thing that helped be the building blocks of the universe. Because I keep asking if it's, like, the building blocks of Earth, and it keeps saying no. But I feel like you're, like, some sort of space rock. Do you have questions about that? I'm trying to see if I can get more about that. Do you know what kind of rock? No, I just see a gray rock monster. Because I'm like, it's not onyx, because onyx is black, isn't it? Two commercials popped up. I'm sorry. I just need you to take this and read it and then tell me what it says later. Now you could start conversation saying you might be the reason for dinosaur extinction. That is hilarious. Onyx is great. What do you mean onyx is gray? Well, I asked my pendulum. It says it wasn't onyx. But I thought onyx was black. I guess the outside isn't. Okay, no, that makes sense. I really have no idea. The DID one sounds like a story, like a movie. Yeah, I got a lot of information for that one. Yeah, I don't know. They like make me feel like you very much building blocks to create everything. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just down here.
Yeah, no, I expected you to take it.
Okay.
I just need you to let me know if I need to like look at it.
Okay.
Thanks. What am I doing? Okay. Must be very impactful. Sorry, I don't know how to talk to a rock monster. He keeps just telling me the same thing over and over again. Do you think all, hold on, do you think all these are contributing to my current life? Yes. I'm asking them about that. They make me feel like you have a, I don't know, with all of these lives, the thing that they told me is they make me feel like you have this very childlike look at the world, but the world has hardened you in so many different ways that, you sort of hide that and only show it to the people that are most important. Does that make sense? And you do that in this life. Because they're like, you value just that so happy-go-lucky life so much, but other people do not, and other people want to take it. So you have learned as a soul to only give it to the people that deserve it. The world has turned me cold. But I'm going to restock. Let me see. Shop. Okay. Let me restock so you guys can order some more. There's 62 of you here. Let's see. There's going to be 4 more available because I still have my voice. I don't know why that did that. 4. Okay. So, thank you, Em. That was cool. No problem. So, we're doing more past life readings. If you guys are interested, make sure to go to the link. The link will either be in the pinned comment at the top of chat. It is also in the description, and I will give it to you here. I picture my rock dude only saying the phrase, "I'm an old rock." Makes sense. And then there's 4 available. So these are going to be the last 4 of the night. If you guys miss out on these, and I'm going to save it real quick. So if you guys are ready, I'm going to hit save changes. If you guys miss out on these, you can go to my private readings, which Nightbot will give you. I think it's readings. And there they are. And when you follow this link, just make sure to go to the readings tab, and you can purchase private readings if you guys are interested in it. Riker is offering readings. They are doing spirit guide drawing readings. I'm also doing email readings of tarot cards, charms, spirit guides and spiritual gifts. So if you're interested in any one of those and missed out on the reading today, we're going to be doing those. But we're also going to be doing live stream readings as well if you want to try to get those. Hold on. I'm trying to get to the page where it shows me orders. Okay. So my last one was Allie. They are sold out. We are starting with Vivian, and then we're going to go to Kiss 606. Casey, and then Rainy. Okay. All right. First reading is Vivian. Vivian, are you here? Let me know in chat, and then I'll do your past life reading for you. Here. Awesome. Okay. Dang, those went quick, lol. Yeah, there's a lot of people in here. And there's only 4 available. I'm curious if I lived many lives and more non-human ones or more human ones. I feel like you've lived a lot of lives. And then if it's more human, I feel like you lived more lives that weren't human. Okay, this is weird. Sorry. Trying not to lose my voice. Okay. What they tell me is they make me feel like I feel like you lived a lot of lives, but a lot of your prior lives were non-human on different planets and stuff like that, or like different planes of existence, not necessarily like alienistic in that sort of sense. And then I feel like you're more new to being human. Because I feel like you're very excited about being human, but a little bit naive, if that makes sense. They make me feel like you're very open-hearted and trusting. But you like the way you deal with like deception is very calculated because of your lives prior, but not in a human way. I have no idea if that makes sense. That tracks 100%. Because they're like, you get suspicious of things, but you're also like the emotional breadth of humanity and the fact that they're so blind to everything. I'm talking to one of your past lives or spirit guides. I don't know, but they're like very weird about humans. But they're like, people have access to collective and they choose not to look at it. So it's confusing for you when people come up to you and they're like trying to be deceptive and like weird, whatever. And it's like blatantly obvious to you. So you're like, they're not gonna try to do this, are they? And then they do it and you're like, oh, okay, cool, sounds awesome. Because you're like, I don't know, you're kind of like the person that like when someone talks about stuff, you're like, you seem like you're gonna be like really mean to me about this, but I'm gonna just pretend like I'm just gonna keep like going along with it because you're not saying you're going to do something really awful. So like maybe it's just me and maybe I'm just making it up in my head. Does that make sense? Because they're like, you pick up on it. And your other like past lives being non-human and being more connected to spirit and stuff like that, you know all of these things are going to happen, but human beings like to think they can hide it well. We cannot hide it well. So you second guess when people do that and you're like, I can tell that you're not fine and you're going to like freak out, but you're saying you're fine and you're saying everything's fine, so I don't know what to believe. That's where the naivety comes in. So, past lives. Okay, you have a past life is a blonde woman. She has long straight hair. You live in like some sort of stone building. Okay. Okay. This is Riker taking a visit.
You want to know what my sickness has turned into now? This is really gross. This specific eye just keeps leaking mucus constantly.
What's swollen?
Yeah, because I've been rubbing it to get it out because it's like blurring my vision randomly.
That sounds horrible.
It's disgusting. I hate it.
It sounds painful. I'm reading Vivian's lives. There's this life that is, well, I just told her that she has more non-human lives than she has human ones.
Mood.
So she's like very excited to be human, but is also like weirded out because people are just so like dense.
Do you need more water or juice or anything?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you losing your voice yet?
No.
Okay.
My throat just hurts.
Keep going. Pretend I'm not here.
Okay. You have a blonde woman that has long straight hair. It's blonde. You seem very sad. Sorry, I'm trying to ask why. I feel like something happened. Is this true?
Yes.
I feel like something happened with a boy.
I'm getting another water.
Careful, SpongeBob. Not a boy! I feel like you were in an arranged marriage. And it was not someone you wanted to be in a relationship with. Oh, dang. Was it cooties?
Yes.
I hope it goes away soon. Might get more gross, but it will heal. You have to keep telling me that because I have chronic illnesses, so I'm like, I'm just gonna have to deal with this forever.
Okay, it's too cold down here. Love you.
Love you.
Text me if you need anything again.
Okay.
Goodbye, chat. I'll be upstairs.
Dying.
Dying. The leaky eye.
With the Okay. I feel like you were in an arranged marriage to a man that you didn't want to be in an arranged marriage with. I feel like you were, I don't know, I feel like your soul did not like being women like in this time period because you had no choice over what you were doing whatsoever. I feel like you were in a more higher class, which made it even worse because so many people were looking at you and being like, you have to do certain things because you are in this higher class. So your parents basically controlled your whole entire life. And you did not like it at all because you, again, they make me feel like you want to be like the person that's like walking around barefoot in the middle of like a meadow, picking up like flowers and stuff, or at least in this life is what I'm talking about. In this life, this is what you want to do. but you are told to stay inside because they want you to be clean and feminine, and I don't know, you weren't having it. You just wanted to be this like happy free spirit, and they basically chained you to this like idea of who you should be. This life too. Yeah, because they're like, your soul has just so much excitement to exist in this world, but you do not understand human beings at all. Because you're like, everyone like has access to all this fun shit, and they all just want to like play this weird character and have all of these rules, and you are like very much like free spirit. You don't like the rules. And in this life, being married to this man was just going to mean that you're going to move into his house, you're going to move away, because I feel like your house was close to the meadow or close to this like big beautiful like wilderness place. So you would sneak out and you would go and do that, and then you would come back, like wash yourself in like, I don't know, like the cattle's like water tub, and then you would like put on like a pretty dress and like make yourself look like girly again. But if you moved into this house with this man, you wouldn't be able to do that, and it killed you inside, and there was nothing you could do about it. I feel like I keep myself inside right now as if I'm supposed to be this way, like those elephants that don't know they don't have chains. Yeah, it's very much like you want to just go and like live life happily, but there's so many rules because of human beings that it just gets in the way. And this life is like one of those lives. Okay, let me know if you have questions about that one. I'll move on to the next one. Okay, next life. Okay, this is like turn of the century, like 1900s. Um, I feel like you were a twin, and you were both girls, and your twin was like your soulmate. But I see you guys, you look like you're 8 and you're in overalls, which is interesting. I don't know that it was necessarily overalls. No, I feel like it was overalls. Sorry, I keep asking like overalls. I feel like girls had to wear like dresses, but they like make me feel like you were young enough that it didn't necessarily matter. And I feel like you guys lived on a farm. And you were more lower class in this life. I feel like this life was very, very happy because you grew up with your soulmate as your twin sister. You got to be around animals, and I feel like you would talk to the animals as like a little girl. They just show me a lot of different things that happened, but it was always okay. If you've ever watched like Heartland, stuff like that. Because I feel like your barn caught on fire once and you had to deal with that and get all the animals out, and you maybe lost a couple animals. I also feel like there was a point in which it flooded and you had to deal with that. But it was just like very chill, normal life. And it was something that like made you happy because you were around a lot of family and a lot of animals. And there weren't as many rules. Because again, I think it's weird that you're in overalls, because I'm pretty sure like girls from this time wouldn't wear pants. But I feel like it was because of the class that you were in, and your family didn't really care. And I feel like you didn't really care. So, and your twin sister. You were the more masculine one, and she was the more feminine one of your soulmate thing. So you guys like connected on a lot of things and were very much the same in so many ways, but at the same time the things that were opposite were like masculine and feminine characteristics. You're more direct and she's more feminine passive. So could that have been Sky too? We're sisters in another life. They make me feel like it's not necessarily Sky. Because I feel like it's not, I don't know if Sky is soulmate person. Oh, really? Hmm. Yeah, they keep telling me no. Overalls, you say. So, I feel like a lot of lives you do incarnate with Sky, but I don't think it's in a soulmate sort of way. Your soul family, if that makes sense. Okay, and then last one I have for you, let's see. Ah, okay. Let's do a non-human life. Let's see if I can get one of those. Have I met my soulmate in this life? They say no. I'm pendulum. Pendulum says no. I feel like you will meet them, but I don't think you have done it yet. I've seen Heartland, but I'm almost positive she hasn't. Yeah, I only watch Heartland is very cringe TV, but the reason why I watch it is because I want to live that girl's life. So, anyways, last one. Let's see what I got for you. Okay, I have a native life for you. I was trying to do things that were not human, but I feel like... Okay, I feel like there's a native life for you. I feel like you're a man. You look like you're in your teens. I feel like you fell in love with someone that was higher up in your tribe. And it was just very, like, cute. I feel like your love language in that life was, like, gifts. So, gifts and words of affirmation. So you would give little gifts to her, and you would, like, and you would, like, tell her things that, like, words of affirmation to her. Are you in a relationship? I feel like you were. I feel like you told me that. Because I feel like that might be the person you're in a relationship with. Is the girl in this story. Because I feel like you know their soul. So a lot of times you end up together. I feel like in this life you did some sort of thing with like medicinal stuff. Like you made medicines. Because I don't think you were a hunter. I feel like I feel like your father was like the medicine man and he was teaching you how to do that. I did pursue him and I'm very cute. Yeah, I feel like you end up with this, like, your partner now in a lot of lives. Because your souls you just recognize them. Like, the first time you meet, you're like, do I know you? And then you end up together. So, and I feel like in this life, same person. Heartland is so cringy, but I'm a sucker and that's why I watch it. Same. It's so cringy. Like, it's so, like, bad cringy. And I'm like, I can't stop watching it because I literally wish I was this girl. I want to live on a farm in freaking Alberta with beautiful mountains as my backyard. And there's so much land. And I have horses that I can just ride wherever. That sounds fantastic. And that's my job. That's why I watch that. Anyways, yes, he's the only person I've liked look at and been like, you. There's just something about them where you're like, you just seem so familiar. What's up, Jay? Everything blurred and it was only him, and almost immediately, let's plan our life together. That's so cute. Do you have questions about your past lives? If not, we're gonna move on to Kiss 606. So if you are in chat, let me know. Kiss 606, you are next. Hi, Jay. Hi, what's up? Let me just see if Vivian has a question. If not, then we can move on. That makes sense. Okay. So while you ask me questions, I'm going to start. Kiss 606 is reading. And I'll go back to your questions if you have any. Vivian. Okay, Kiss. Okay, first one. We're starting off strong with weird past lives. So, I see you as a mermaid. I feel like you are like the stereotypical mermaid, half woman, half fish. I don't feel like you live on Earth though. You live on a different like plane of existence, planet, whatever it is. You have like it's like light brown hair, but it's like very, very long and pretty. And sorry, I need to like ask things about mermaids. Lol. I don't know. I'm like asking them questions about mermaid societies because I don't know anything and it's weird. But, your mermaid past life, I feel like mermaid past lives in and of themselves are similar to human ones, so they have a lot of different like ways of dealing it or classifying things like higher class, lower class, that sort of thing. They make me feel like they're more so in a tribe versus like society, if that makes sense. So they run more so on a like one for all sort of mentality, that we're not like trading things for money, we're trading things for like work. So everyone has like a specific job in the tribe and they support the whole tribe. So I feel like that's more so what mermaid like things are about. But let me do Vivian's question. I have light brown hair, but I keep it short. So Vivian, do you know if I have healing abilities in this life? I had a Fey life that dealt with nourishment, fertility, and I was curious if this is related to the native life too. Yes. No, exactly. They make me feel like you're the type of person that like when people talk to you, you know exactly what's wrong. Even if like other people don't know, like if you were talking to me and I'm like, I don't know why I'm sad, a lot of times you kind of pick up on what's going on, and just doing that, you're able to heal people without even realizing you're doing it by being that helping hand. Does that make sense? Yay, confirmation, thank you. Yeah, they're like, you're very good at reading people, which is why all of your non-human past lives think this life is very weird, because you're like, well, isn't it obvious? But also, why are you all acting this way? So, yeah. And Mariah says, checks out for Viv. Yeah, you're very good at reading people, and you pull out the things that bother them. So, you're very good at knowing how to heal people, whether it's physically or non-physically. And your past life at the native does that very much. Okay, so Kiss, mermaid life. I feel like you were some sort of gatherer, because I feel like you're female. So you would bring things back to the tribe. Whether it be like resources, like different food type things. I don't think you were a hunter though. I don't think you like went and got like fish type things. I think you got like whatever you found like on the bottom of the like ocean floor. A fork? Isn't that called like a dingle hopper in that TV show? Movie? The Little Mermaid. Yes. I feel like you did that gathering thing with a lot of other female mermaids too. Because I feel like it was safer for you guys to go out together than it was for you to be separated. Because I feel like wherever you are, there's like bigger things that could eat you or hurt you. I see Henry. It's a good time. I wonder what the mermaid natural enemy is. Wherever they were not here. But they like tell me about the weird things, because I'm on deep sea TikTok, because that's interesting to me. So like a lot of people talk about how only 5% of the oceans are discovered. So they showed me that they found certain like deep sea squid or something, or even like, okay, no, this is exactly what it was. It was like some really large great white shark. So like 14 feet or some shit. And it had teeth marks that went over like big span of its body, and it was only the front part of their teeth. So whatever it was something that could almost like fully eat a great white shark in like 1 to 2 bites. So they like told me that, and I was like, hey, cool. So yeah, because I don't think you were a deep sea mermaid. I feel like you lived more so on the surface level, or like where dolphins can be. You had like, you were a mammal. You weren't more fish than you were mammal. But if you were like in open water, further enough down, something could come and get you. So you would go out in groups. Anyways. Okay. So next life, you have mermaid life. Let's see. Okay, I feel like you have a past life as a little girl. She has blonde curly hair. She looks like she's from the 20s. I say that a lot, so that's why I'm like, she's like, no. Okay, I feel like it's more so the 40s or 50s. Cause she has like an aged outfit on. It's very cute. It's very simple like dress, but very cute. So she is her hair like comes down to like the middle of her back. She's very, very uh like book smart. I feel like she is very much kind of like Hermione from Harry Potter. So when I say that, like she's very, very smart and outspoken, but was always told girls should be seen, not heard. Hold on. I feel like you lived during like the women's rights movement. And that was in the 60s. So again, that makes sense if you were a child in the like 40s, 50s. So, because they make me feel like the reason why they're telling me you're very like educated and outspoken is because I feel like you were a part of the movement. Oh, did I have kids? Did you have kids as the mermaid? Yes, you had children as a mermaid. I feel like you had 2 boys. Yeah, because I feel like the boys would go off and learn how to like hunt. So, mer babies. Anyways, I feel like you had a past life as someone that was in the women's rights movement. But they're showing me you as a little girl. I see you like reading. I don't know. They make me feel like I'm looking things up because I'm like, they make me feel like you shouldn't have been able to read that young because you were a woman and they didn't teach people. So I don't know. I think it's astronomical that you were able to read, and I feel like that's also like important because I feel like that also helped you to be a part of the women's right movement. Explains why I love to read now. Yeah, I don't know. I just see this little girl reading, but they like tell me that she shouldn't be able to read because they didn't teach women how to read back then. So you went to the women's rights movement, you were outspoken, you were very much like Hermione for the non-wizarding world. And then one more for you. Okay, last life I see you as a man. You have a mustache and dark hair. You have a hat on. It's like one of those like newspaper. I think they're called newspaper hats. Yeah, it's not a hat made out of newspaper. It's like the like old, like it's like puffy on the top, but there's like a brim. I think they're called newspaper hats. Like newspaper boy hats or something. I don't know. They're like vintage. Newsboy hat. Maybe it's that. You're looking super tired. It's because I'm sick. So, I have been sick for a couple days and I'm trying not to lose my voice, but I just have a sore throat. So, it's fine. Everything's fine. I am fine. What's up, Kayla? Thank you so much for the super chat. For some comfort foods. Really appreciate it. Any amount helps. One more life for Kiss. And then we have Casey and Rainy. Let's see. Sorry, the man with the like newspaper hat. The man with the newspaper hat. I don't know when those were popular either. Newsboy hat. Yeah, newsboy hat. I think that's what they're called. Flat caps, known as newsboy's cap. When were they popular? The turn of the 19th and early 20th century. So that is when you existed. I feel like you were in like working class. You look to be 30, late 30s. I feel like you were like some sort of electrical engineer. Electricity. Sorry, I'm like seeing how this relates. Okay, I feel like you were some sort of an electrical engineer. Can you tell what era he's from or what he did? Yeah, he's from like I feel like it's like mid 19th century. And he was an electrical engineer. He is very, 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 very intelligent, smart. I feel like a lot of your lives are like that, where you are very good at comprehending information and being able to see the full picture of things. Sorry, I'm reading chat. Oh, what's up, Candy? To go with Kayla for more soul food. We appreciate the super chat. Really, it really fucking helps. You have no idea. So I'm trying to ask if there's anything else important. They make me feel like they like are just super, super intelligent. They make me feel like a lot of your lives, you did a lot of like very deep intellectual stuff. Like you were a very intelligent soul. You very much like to learn everything possible about everything. And I think it's because your soul is one of the things that helped create existence, but in a like behind the scenes sort of way. So it's kind of like if this is a video game, you were like one of the things that helped to create the coding of the game. And they make me feel like it's specifically with like interconnections of things. You like were the coding that helped to figure out how to bring things together. I have to know how everything works. Well, yeah, it's very much, they very much show me like webs, and they're like, they show me the points in which the webs connect to each other, like the different like points and the different parts of that they touch. So, do you have questions for me before I move on to Casey? And Casey, are you in chat? I have to know the bigger picture to understand the area of what I'm working on. Yes, exactly. They make me feel like it's a lot of like, I need to know everything because that makes me feel more comfortable and makes me understand what's going on. And then they say, no, thank you, feel better. No, you feel better. I know it doesn't make any sense, but I'm autistic. I don't know what to say. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for the reading. And then Casey, we're doing past life readings. We have 2 more, so we have Casey and then Rainy. No, you. Readings are sold out for today. I might do some tomorrow, but if you're interested in private readings, you can follow this link and click on the readings tab. So I offer email readings. Okay, so Casey, I already bought a private one after the spider story. I couldn't resist. Awesome. Enjoy the meal, says the waiter. You too, I say to the waiter. That is me 100%, and I will confidently say it because I'm like, I'm too autistic to think of an answer for you. I don't know. Like, you too. You feel better too. Okay, Casey. Okay, you're one of those people where I want to ask questions. So, how do you feel about cars? Because from what I'm getting, I feel like you don't like cars, or like they're kind of like annoying or like boring or like, what's the word? Overrated. That's a good word. Does that make sense? This is for Casey. The reason why I ask is I feel like you have a past life as a man and you were some sort of racer in a car. Like you raced cars. I'm indifferent by them. I just wanted to ask because I feel like you watched a lot of like horrific things happen in cars in this life. Wonder when that started, because they make me feel like it's when car racing started. Oh wow. Car racing started a really long time ago. So, car racing started in 1887. I don't think it was like at that time, it was a little bit after, but like turn of the century. Because the cars look older, and a lot of times my sign and symbol for that is they change the coloration so it looks like sepia. And that's usually like turn of the century for me. So 19 and earlier is usually black and white. 19 to like the 50s-ish is like sepia. My mom wanted to be a racer, unless you're talking Lightning McQueen, love him. Yeah, I feel like you were some sort of like NASCAR racer type thing. I don't know if NASCAR is the right word for back then, because I think NASCAR is like a type of thing. I knew nothing about cars. I just see you in a car, you're racing, and the car looks older. Kristen, what's up? I just got diagnosed with cancer. Do you have any advice? Let me pull a card for you. But let me do this past life reading first. And I'll give you some advice. So, Casey. I see this man, he has brown hair. I feel like he also has facial hair. He likes to have a mustache. But, you know, men can grow facial hair pretty fast usually, and then it can be gone one day, you know. So, he's in an aged outfit as well. He's wearing, his pants are like a little bit baggy, and then he has like a button-up shirt and like some sort of hat on, or like some sort of like thing covering his head, like some sort of head covering. I know nothing about cars, so I'm sorry if this is like weird or inaccurate. And what was I gonna say? He's telling me about like mechanical things, that he is very good at knowing how to make his car faster. He says he never did it in a like illegal way for the game, like something against the rules, but he knew how to go around the rules to make the cars faster. But he shows me a lot of cars like flipping upside down and exploding. Sorry, I'm asking him a question. Oh Lord, exploding? My grandpa is a mechanic. I feel like, they make me feel like, I don't know if this is true for you in this life, they make me feel like you're very good with your hands, you're very good at constructing things. So, they're like, when you learn things, you're the type of person that has to like touch or do it in order to learn it versus like watching someone else do it. Does that make sense? They're like, you're very tactile, like you gotta do it with your hands type of person. Does that make sense? Because that's what this past life is like. That's big facts. Okay, let me answer Kristen's question for a second. So I just got diagnosed with cancer. Do you have any advice? They want me to say, don't give up on things. Sorry, this is gonna be an interesting thing because they make me feel like you can't do anything now. You feel like almost like your life has stopped. And they're like, that energy is just going to be hard. Because they're like, you need to focus on, they want me to say focus on the things that make you feel stable and allowing those thoughts, those scary thoughts to go away. Give yourself a break for it. Like it might be the end for me. That's what she says. Yeah, they make me feel like, because I pull cards for you, you have the Nine of Wands reversed, which a lot of times is like giving up. And that's why I'm like, don't allow yourself to give up. And I realize like that's a hard thing to do, which is why I'm like, This is a weird thing for me to say because I don't know what that's like. But they're like, you feel like you don't have control over anything. You feel like it's pointless to do anything. And they're like, you're losing your spirit before you even have a chance to like do anything. So they're like, don't allow those thoughts in the back of your head to take over. Does that make sense? Because they're not going to tell me about the like what to do in that aspect. They're going to help me. They're going to help you with the mindset. Because they're like, mindset can change anything. Yes, it does. Thank you. Yeah, the cards I pulled for you are Nine of Wands, which is giving up, the Devil, which is being affected by self-limiting beliefs, the King of Pentacles, which is like stability, and the King of Wands, which is like confidence in one's ideas, but you're worried about losing that. So it's like you're worried about doing anything. You're worried about, you feel like fragile. And they're like, don't allow yourself to, don't like lose yourself. But Casey, next path life. Oh, Rogers and me car pictures. Yeah, actually they look like that. Hold on, gotta figure out where the camera is. That's what they look like. Old style cars. Didn't know that there was like racing back then. That sounds horrifically dangerous, which probably is why cars keep flipping up around him. Anyways. So, next life I have for you. That's really cool. So I feel like you have a life as a woman. You have a very like masculine sort of vibe. They make me feel like it's very like nonchalant, very direct, very like I know what I want and I'm gonna go after it sort of energy. So a lot of your lives are masculine, but this life you are female. I feel like you had two boys. You were a housewife. You did not like being a housewife because it was boring. I feel like I want to say your soul in and of itself is like an adrenaline junkie, but if I say that, it's not gonna make sense for lives like this. Because this life, you're not like trying to do daredevil things, but it was just boring. Because you're like, I can watch the kids and clean the house, but like, I want to do things like a man does. Okay, I need another one of these things. So I'm sorry, I'm having another cough drop. Casey says, facts, put me in the field. I'm like that now. Just love doing heart racing things. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, a lot of your lives you aren't doing like dumb shit like jumping out of planes and stuff like that. But just being like a stay-at-home mom, there's not enough to do. And it's a lot of like monotonous stuff that just keeps happening over and over again. So you tried to entertain yourself with doing things that women don't normally do. Because they make me feel like you worked on cars, you would like renovate the house, and that wasn't normally something that women did at that point in time. Because I feel like you were like a 50s wife. No Weenie Hut Juniors for you. Literally. Sorry, I'm in the process of losing my voice. I have two more, so it's fine. We're getting there. That's cute. It's awesome. And I feel like being a boy mom was like a vibe for you because again, at this point, that was like now I figured out when the women's movement happened. So women weren't really allowed to do a lot, but boys were. So you like lived vicariously through your children because you wanted to do more things. You didn't want to just stay at home. Okay, last one I have for you. You're a man and you're on a ship. But you're not a pirate. You're not a pirate like R. James. It was like not a pirate ship. I feel like because I'm like, were you a fishing ship? What kind of ship were you? I feel like it was some sort of ship that like transported things. I'm assuming readings are closed now. Yes, I'm sold out of readings. If you would like private readings, I'll give you the link again. But I'm also planning on doing some more readings, reading live streams the rest of the week. So if you follow us on Instagram, you can get updated on that. So if you want private readings, follow that and then click on the readings tab. So I feel like you were on a ship that like shipped things like shipping container type stuff. So I don't know if you were like a part of like the trade thing. I'm also really bad at history, so they showed me like the triangle thing on the like Pacific Ocean, and you were one of the ships that like transported goods from different countries. So you were one of those people. I feel like you loved living on a boat. It was just exciting. It was just a lot of like people to meet, places to be, things to do. You could like see the ocean. There's just a lot of like things going on. So living on a boat was, you did that for a while. And like going to different places all the time was cool for you too. I feel like you had a family in that life. I feel like you had a wife and a little girl. And they talk about the like boat ride things being like a couple months, and then you would stay a couple months at home with your like family, and then you would be like shipped out again. Because they tell me it's like a 6-month difference or something. I don't know if that's actually true. Something like that. Hmm. Anything non-human? Sorry, I'm asking them questions. I feel like you were a lot of animals, and I'm trying to get out of the animal aspect. I see you as a parrot, a blue parrot. Because again, flying is a thing for your soul. You really like doing that sort of stuff. I also feel like you're a dragon. Okay, and you're some sort of dragon. Big Chinese looking dragon, so you were very much a snake-like with smaller legs. Um, I feel like you were a blue and red dragon, or like a gray blue. And I don't feel like you had fire. I feel like you dealt with like the mountains. I don't know, you're like very, very loud. And you deal with like almost like earthquakes, like ground earthquakes, like fault lines. I don't know. A lot of like tension in the grounds. So they make me feel like you as a dragon who dealt with like earthquakes. But do you have questions before I move on to the last one, which is Rainy? And Rainy, are you still here? Facts, that's crazy. What's up, Rainy? You are my last one for the night. I honestly think thought of like a siren. Were you the one I told was the mermaid past life? Sorry, I'm like, I've done so many at this point, I don't remember. Because I don't think you were a siren. And then Rainy says, thank you, Anne, by the way, for my email reading. It was spot on. I truly appreciated. You are one of the only ones to really explain to me my gifts and given me a direct answer of how I can strengthen them. Sure, no problem. I'm the mermaid. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I didn't think I told you you were a mermaid. No, it was someone else. I thought about it because I sing. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you weren't the person I told was a mermaid because I specifically asked if Kiss was a siren and they told me not. What I can ask for you. So I'm getting confused as to people because I'm like, I've done 7 readings and I don't know which is which. So, but a dragon is sick. Okay. Okay. For you, I honestly do feel like you have a siren life. And the reason why I say that is because of the loudness of your dragon life. I feel like you carry that over with the sirens. Cause the sirens, they like manipulate frequencies to do weird shit. And this dragon does the same thing. But yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were Kiss when I told Kiss about mermaid things. So, and I was like, I asked if Kiss was a siren and they told me no. But you definitely are a siren. Sorry, confusion. But if you have any questions, let me know. And then Rainy will do yours. So. Okay, first thing is I feel like you were a sky nature spirit. Oh boy, let's go. Okay. Rainy, I feel like you were a sky spirit. Like you were a nature spirit that deals with the sky. And the difference between a nature spirit and a fae spirit is the nature spirit is the thing that makes up the energy of nature. And fae are the things that like dictate or take care of it or help like manage it. So it's that sort of thing. I feel like you were some sort of sky spirit and you dealt with a lot of change in weather. And it's very much like the cycle, like the water cycle. Sky and Earth are different planet. Oh god, I don't know. I feel like it's both. Because I'm like, I know that it's on this Earth, right? Okay. But they also make me feel like it's not just here where you were a nature spirit. Your soul very much deals with that sort of energy. So, in other places, you do the same thing. So, they make me feel like you deal with a lot of phases. Like, you're very good at, like, I don't know what the right word to describe this is. Isn't that interesting that my main being Rain in this life? Yeah. I don't necessarily think you are like a, a spirit associated to rain, but you're a spirit associated to the sky. Because I thought about that too. I was like, am I ego reading this? Are they actually like, do they actually deal with rain? And they make me feel like you deal with cycles specific with the sky, and the water cycle is one of them. And I feel like you deal with cycles in everyday life, because they make me feel like you're very good at, like, you're like the type of person that like lays things out in a very like organized manner, like steps. You take like one big thing and you bring it into steps that you can follow, and it's kind of like that. Does that make sense? But the way that you do it is very smooth. Riker added some readings? What? I have to look at them, hold on. So, if you follow that link and hit readings, Riker has added some readings. They added past life readings. Oh, a past life drawing reading, which is cool. And then they also have a deity email reading. And then they have a spirit guide drawing reading. So if you're interested in one of those, the link is there, my guy. I'll give it to you again over here. But if you go to the readings tab, you can find our private readings. Oh god, I am screwing everything up. Everything is fine. I don't know how to use Riker's computer. Okay, everything's fine. I fixed it. So, I am... Okay. Y'all are gonna make me broke, lol. And they say, oh, definitely. Yeah, because I don't know that you deal with necessarily the water associated, like the rain itself, but you deal with the cycle of pushing things forward. You deal with the change or the phases of the sky itself. So that can be water, that can be like the sun moon phase, and how the sky changes and lights up for that, how the clouds work, how the refraction of light works. I feel like your soul deals with that sort of energy of the phases of the sky itself. So that's why I was like, am I just reading your name and thinking, oh, rain, skies? And they were like, no, it's not just rain, it's the phases of all of the skies. And I feel like it's not just here, it's a lot of places. I feel like you're like one of those souls that like makes up cycles. That's so cool. Yeah. So there's that one. Let me know if you have questions about any of these when I switch to a new one. I feel like you had a... Okay. I feel like you were in a war. And I feel like you were the oldest child in this family that was trying to flee from the war. and you were a girl. You look like you are 10, and you have a younger brother that you're carrying. Um, and you're trying to follow your mom out. And there's like chaos and a lot of scary things happening. And they show me like Mulan with the little girl's doll toy that was left behind. And that's how they're associating it to your village was about to be like bombed, or like something bad was about to happen, so everyone was fleeing in a very like frantic manner. And you were a 10-year-old little girl carrying like a like 2-year-old boy, and that was your brother. I feel like your father was at war, so he wasn't there. It was just you, your brother, and your mom. And you were trying to leave. Okay. I feel like you and your family just didn't know where to go, so you were kind of like nomadic for a while. I knew you were going to say war. Wow, what time period was this? Before electricity. So okay, before electricity was popular, because the house that you lived in didn't have electricity, you used candles. So whenever that is, but you guys were fleeing. I feel like you became nomadic because you couldn't go back to the place where you were because it got bombed. Like it literally was gone. I feel like you were very lucky as a family that you didn't lose your mom, you didn't lose your brother, you all survived, but you just now don't have anywhere to go. Because they make me feel like there wasn't room for you at the like refugee camp sort of place. Do you think you'd be able to read future lives that we'd be influencing? Yeah, I've done that before. It's really weird. So do you have questions about that life? And then I'll do another one for you as well. Um, was I Asian by any chance? Potentially, you have dark hair and dark skin. You look like you would be Asian. So that makes sense. And you're in like rags almost. You're lower class. So you're in like some sort of like cotton or canvas or whatever like cheap material your like dress or outfits are made out of, and they're like white and brown, like white and tan. I feel like okay, I feel like you never saw your father again. I feel like he died in the war, which also caused some more problems for your family because it was hard to do anything when you're a woman. So you went from house to house. I feel like you survived a lot of this. Um, okay. Sorry, I'm like asking questions of what happened because I feel like you all lived. Like that wasn't the thing that like did anything like to cause you to die. But it's very hard for women to do things in this period of time They make me feel like your mom had to do some sketchy things to make a living. Um, I feel like you were nomadic for a large period of time and then went like a few years. And then your mom started doing weird things for money, like the best way I can say is being a lady of the night on YouTube. And I feel like that allowed you to have a house. I feel like at this point you were old enough to take care of the younger brother. So your mom was gone for was gone for a while to do that, to try to figure out how to make money any way that she could. And then at some point you left the family to go live on your own when you were like 16. So, do you have questions about that one? I can give you one more. Oh, and they say, I have a deep love for the Asian cultures, like, and even spirituality. Yeah. Okay, one more. Sorry, I'm trying to, like, give you someone else. Okay, fine. Okay. Can my father in my life be the one in this life by the chance? Yeah, I feel like that's true. Because I feel like the father in your past life is very, like, upstanding person. Like, they want me to say honorable. He, like, cared too much about his family. Even if this was, like, an arranged marriage type thing. He, like, would lay down his life for his family. He was very much provider, protective, understanding man, but he was like drafted against his will, put into the war, and then died in the war, which was unfortunate for your family. Okay. Okay, last life that I have for you is weird. I feel like you have a life as a tiger, an orange tiger. These lives are so interesting, OMG. I feel like you had a life as a tiger. You were a male tiger. Okay, let me look up things about tigers because they're telling me I don't know if tigers are like social, like the males. Yeah, I don't know why there's other tigers nearby because they're like tigers are solitary in nature, interacting briefly with for mating purposes, occasionally to share their kill. However, there's been rare instances documented where tigers have collaborated on a hunt. I don't know, it's interesting. Because male lions are territorial to other males. But I see another lion. Or sorry, I see another tiger. Delirious. It's fine. There's another tiger that's there. And I feel like you see that tiger often. It might be, I feel like they're female, so that makes more sense. But like, it's just still weird, especially with like male tigers. Male tigers, generally are seen by themselves. So, I connect to this animal so much. Yeah, I don't know, they're showing me weird things with this tiger life because I feel like this was like your family. I see a female lion with a cub, and you often see them. And I just think it's interesting because, like, I don't know. I'm looking up things about tigers because I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I feel like you saw them often, but you weren't like in a like herd, tribe, group sort of thing. It's just odd that you're seeing them, but not like going after them. So that's why I'm a little bit like weird with it. Because I feel like you have a female lion that you like often mated with. And then I don't know if I'm saying lion, I mean tiger. And then she had a cub, and I feel like the cub was female too. Yeah, I'm doing paid readings. I'm sold out, so this is the last reading of the night. So, um, yeah, that is like I feel like that's very weird for a male tiger to like be cool with that happening, but you seem to be very protective of them. So, that is your reading. Do you have questions for me before I go? Tigers are solitary as fuck. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Because I'm like, I thought that too, but I'm like, I don't know why you're looking at them. Because what I see is I see me as the tiger, which is the past life male tiger. And then, like, off on a rock, I see this female tiger with a cub. And I'm like, not doing anything about it. And I'm like, I don't know why that's happening. And then they make me hear that like sound that tigers make to tell you that they're not a threat. And that's how they told me that they weren't going to attack each other. Because tigers, they make like a humming noise to tell you that they're not going to attack you, that they're not a threat. So it's just weird to me because I'm like, why aren't you attacking these other tigers? They're on your like territory. So whatever that means, you like don't attack them for whatever reason. So take that with a grain of salt. Anything about these past lives that will teach me anything in this life, anything basically I need to know. They show me a lot of big picture stuff. So I don't know. They're like, they keep showing me a puzzle and they keep showing me that you're slowly putting the puzzle pieces together, but it's like, I don't know. They make me feel it's like confusing for you because you're trying to guess what the puzzle looks like before you finished it, and it's not what you think it is. They make me feel like you're the kind of person that's very good at like you're very good at like seeing what's going to happen before it like happens, and it like makes you I don't know. I feel like you get a lot of like premonition stuff, and because of the premonition stuff, you think things are gonna happen a certain way and they don't, and then it kind of like puts you like it knocks you on your ass. I don't know if that makes sense. When things don't work out the way that you see them, you're like very confused by it because you're very much like one of those people that are like, I know what's going to happen and I will make it happen. So they make me feel like in this life, they're not allowing you to see the full picture until you finish the puzzle. Which means, don't expect the thing that you want to happen in the way you think it's going to happen. Does that make sense? Damn it. Yeah. They're like, you're still going to like have these premonitions, but they're not going to happen the way you think that they are. And they're like, your spirit guides know that. And they're like, we are literally going to make you look over that way in order to distract you from the things that are about to happen so that they can happen more in a natural way or a natural flow. Because I feel like your soul deals a lot with like cycles. Your soul deals a lot with, we do this and then we do this and then we're here. And they're like, but what about that thing over there? And then you're just like done and you're like, how did we get here? That's what they're kind of doing. Bunch of jerks, lol. Yeah, but if you guys are interested in readings, I will promote this one more time for you. If I can get the link, give me a second. Oh gosh. Okay. If you would like any of our private readings because you missed a reading for today, Nightbot will hopefully give you the link for that. And once you go on that, you just go to the readings tab and we have private readings there. Riker has added some new readings, so if you want to look at what Riker has available as well as what I have available, go look at that. But I am planning on doing some more live streams this week, so if you guys want to follow our Instagram account, I think that will give that to you. If you want to follow our Instagram account, we will get updates of when we're going to go live because it's going to be a surprise. And I think we're potentially on Thursday going to go live at the normal time, which is 7 p.m. EST. But anyways, you should check out the video that we posted today where we went to Disneyland. I think that's the code for that. But we posted a vlog on Honda Smoke and Mirror, so go check out that and you can watch more of our content. But if you watch that and wait all the way to the end, there is a teaser for next week. And next week's video is going to be surprising, shocking, whatever it is, it's going to be exciting. You should go watch that video. So I will see you guys later. I have to figure out how to end this. But okay, bye. Thank you guys so much.